live from Soho, New York City. It's Wearable Electronics' Becky Stern.
Oh, hey, everybody. It's October 15th. The show is indeed live. We're in the Adafruit factory. I put the laser goggles. I don't even know if you can see. There's like a lot of pairs of goggles going on here. These were kind of in your face before, but let's see how, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's a laser beam that you can't see that's going around here right now.
It's going to distract us all show long. Each week we are covering the coolest wearable electronics that you've made, that we've made, that other people have made, things that you can make.
It takes a village.
With wearable electronics, and it's an exciting show. What is on today's show today?
On today's show, yeah, it's today's show. On today's show, guess what? The code is ALD14Y because it's a continuation of the Ada Lovelace Day 2014 celebration, Women in Science, Tech, and Engineering. So the code's ALD14, keeps it easy on us. So that
2 days in a row.
2 days in a row, yeah.
10% off anything in the store. I know it says floor and wearables, but it's anything in the store. All day today and yesterday to celebrate Ada Lovelace Day.
That's right. Wearable Wednesday.
We're finally debuting the last of the Cyber Tank Girl costume videos today.
Yeah.
Halloween.
In a world with a dog and Neopixels.
I have a dog, and in my future, there are dogs and Neopixels. It's a bright, bright future.
Yeah. Component of the week.
This is an inductive charging station.
Tools we love.
This is a book by my friend.
You got questions, Becky has answers.
If you have questions about wearable electronics during the show or at any other time, you can leave them in the comments on this video, in the Google Plus event, or comments on the blog comments. You can hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or other places on the internet, and we will save your questions for a future show, making you eligible to win a prize. Today's prize is a Flora.
That's right.
Not only will you get your question answered, but you'll get put in the drawing.
Okay.
That's what happens.
All right. All that and more on, you guessed it, Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
We have an exciting show today.
We do. I am not going to do my what are you
That's okay. I have
wearing because you have one.
Yes, I have a what am I wearing.
I was talking about reviewing fuel surcharges on a contract.
Fuel surcharges. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's fine. What you have to ask me then. I can't ask you.
Becky, what are you wearing?
It's my favorite segment. Just the intro, just because of that. I have this Motorola smartwatch.
You're wearing a plate on your wrist.
It looks like a dinner plate.
Yeah.
Just in case you need to eat dinner off of your wrist.
Oh, okay.
You could put like a very small, like a little brockoli and like a little grain of rice, maybe.
That's very nice.
This is my gigantic smartwatch made for a man, obviously. The Motorola here's some product placement. Although we bought this is not given to us. We're going to tear down this Motorola Moto 360 smartwatch.
Yeah.
It's round. Oh, excuse me. And it connects with your phone. I brought my phone nearby in case we needed to have it do something.
It is very cool that the LCD is round.
It's round. People they complain about the flat tire at the bottom, they call it. So I can change the watch face to something more round. Can you see the flat tire at the bottom? So it's not I actually didn't even notice it until a CNET review mentioned it. I didn't notice the flat tire.
And now that's all you can see.
And now it's all I can see. It has a couple different watch faces that are customizable. That's cool. Here I got a text message. It says K. You can swipe to dismiss notifications. You can see all kinds of, this is somebody just retweeted my Halloween costume. And it also has an optical heart rate sensor on the back. I'll show that to you if I can take it off. So just like the Adidas smartwatch, it has a green LED that'll shine out through here, and an optical sensor that'll try to read your heart rate. So far on me, it's not been that. Like, it doesn't always do it when I want it to.
It's becoming like standard issue. Like, if you have a smartwatch, it does the following.
Yep, it does step counting. It does heart rate monitoring. That's starting to become the norm. It does this really annoying thing whenever I walk to the bathroom and leave my phone at my desk, where it like vibrates more strongly than it ever vibrates because so notification is just like a little buzz. Sometimes you might not even notice it, but when it disconnects from the phone because you went out of range, it goes crazy and vibrates like crazy to tell you that it's not connected to the phone anymore.
Yeah.
And that drives me bonkers. And
well, that's a feature.
No way to turn it off.
Well, it's a feature, though.
And yeah, it's a feature. Yeah, like don't leave your phone at your desk while you go to the toilet. It's not okay. Beep, 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 beep. Anyway, we'll be taking it apart. As you can see, it doesn't really fit me that well anyway. It is nice that it's round. I get lots of looks. Instead of like the Google Glass, people looking at me like I'm crazy on the subway, people are like, ooh, what's that on your wrist?
Okay.
Because when it's off, it's just black circle, so obviously it's a smartwatch. And what I do like about it that I don't know that all of the smartwatches have is that when you like tilt it up towards yourself, like you're going to look at it, as a gyro in it, it turns the screen on. So that if you have stuff in your hands, you can like, whoop, and it'll show you the subject of your email, which is not that helpful, or the time.
Yeah. So because you're director of a wearable electronics division in a company, people probably ask you all the time, you know, what wearable smartwatch should I get? Or is this one that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I have a friend with the Galaxy Gear, and he has a similar sort of complaints that I do, that like it's useful but not that useful. It has text voice commands, so like I think I agree with most of the reviews online to say that this is like one of the best ones out there, but you should really wait for a smartwatch at all.
Yeah, okay.
But the round screen is cool. I don't think that very many apps use it to its full potential, right? Like it's just nice looking when it's off, which is important. It's like when I logged into it for the first time, it runs Android Wear, and it like asked me my height and weight, and it had defaults. It asked me my height and weight before it asked me my gender, and the defaults were 5'8" and 165 pounds. And I was like, gee, man tech, could you be any more for a man? Like, because I'm like, nope, that's not me. I am much shorter and much lighter than that. Oh, and I'm female. So I think Android Wear, like it's not all Motorola's fault. Android Wear has some work to do, but they wouldn't know what changes or improvements to make on their software until they had a couple watches out there running their stuff. So I think it'll get better. It's pretty neat. It's pretty seamless for what it does. It operates as a camera remote. I can like set my phone up and then use this as a remote button. That looks kind of cool. I can show that to you. So like as soon as I turn the camera on my phone, this will turn into, you're gonna do it? Touch to control your camera. So then it's like here I could take a picture of the camera, and it counts down 2, 1, bink, and then it shows you the picture on the watch.
Oh, that's neat. Okay, that's pretty cool.
So that if you're like taking I can imagine for family photos, it's great to you can put the phone and then you can take it and you can see if the picture came out good before you.
And then you've got the picture on your watch.
Yeah, I have the picture on my watch, so you can tell if it came out okay before you like break your pose or whatever.
Yeah.
So that I thought was cool. It can remotely control your Spotify or your music player on your phone. Which is neat. The interaction's still a little bit cumbersome, and the bottom line is I don't like to wear a watch. So if I wear a necklace, maybe I'd wear it more often. It's neat. We'll take it apart. We'll see how it's going. That's what I'm wearing.
I think this is the first live video review of this watch because it was
on
backorder.
A live one. Yeah, it was on backorder for a long time. They like Apple style. They kept like emailing me to say you can buy it now. No, really, you can buy it now, and then you couldn't really.
All right. Well,
anyway, the next time you see it, we'll be in a video where we're taking it apart.
You'll get yours, little watch.
Say goodbye.
Next up, Wearable Wednesday.
Okay, this is the fun segment where we talk about things that you made and debut a new project. This is Matt made these really cool visor accessory for his glasses on Thingiverse. It's 3D printed, and then he's using a 60 Neopixel ring. So the 60 Neopixel ring comes in 4 quarters, and then you solder them together. So he took 2 semicircles and then sandwiched them on top of each other like a Geordie LaForge visor, and made these 3D printed part that goes in the middle to diffuse the light. And he's got it running the Larson scanner sketch, so it's just like going back and forth. We have one more picture of it on the table, so you can see the construction a little bit clearer. It's designed to go over a pair of glasses, and he's got a little potentiometer on the side with a 3D printed knob so that he can adjust the speed of the animation, which is a cool modification to the code. And he's got his files on Thingiverse, so you can print your own.
Okay, next up.
Very cool. This is our Mario's Neopixel ring goggles for Comic-Con. He made them for his brother, I believe. Yeah. And added a third animation to the stock sample code. So awesome.
Lady Ada and I went to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
There were a couple people that had electronics. There was some Neopixels to be found. There was someone who had goggles, but we didn't run into them, but we were told about them.
Yeah, and it might have been these.
Yeah, it could have been. And what's cool is, the demand for electronics and costuming is there.
Yeah.
So we went there and we met a bunch of people who make props. I'm sending out some electronics for them. And what's neat is they're experts in making costumes and props, and they're about to become experts in electronics. So that was a lot of fun. So if you have costuming experts, if you are one or if you know one, contact us, because we have some things that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So we could tell you some of our ideas.
Similar to the textile experts who try electronics and they find that they're really good at the sewable electronics because we're already really good at sewing, we find that costume prop makers take to electronics really easily because it's not any harder than any of the other construction methods that they're already familiar with. Like casting resin is hard, like building props that don't fall apart is hard, faux finishing things is hard. Electronics is not that hard compared to some of the other things that fine crafts people already know how to do. So
yeah. Next up, you are a special guest on Little Bits.
Oh yeah, I did a guest post on the Little Bits blog with 5 of my recent favorite wearable projects for Halloween, ordered in most time-consuming to least time-consuming, so something for everybody's time frame. Now is really the time to order your supplies for your Halloween costume if you want to put electronics in it. I like to tell people they have to plan to do the project twice in terms of time, so that you're not scrambling and then disappointed by Halloween if you don't have time to fix something that broke or that you did wrong. And if you're a beginner, it takes practice.
Use the code if you're going to order Halloween stuff. Like, do it now.
Do it right now, and you can get 10% off your whole order.
Yeah. Adafruit.com/Halloween is live.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have so many Halloween projects this year. Like
I
thought last year was intense.
Okay. Next up, yesterday.
Yesterday was Ada Lovelace Day. We
Yes.
had 24 posts scheduled, and then I came in and Ada Lovelace bombed the site for on the half hour. So we have easily 30, and there were maybe a few more women in technology profiled on the site yesterday in honor of Ada Lovelace Day.
Yep. Every year we take over the Adafruit site, and we just post amazing women in tech, science, engineering, math. And this year, lots of events around the world. So if you go to findingada.com or .org, I think it's .org, you can check out all the things, because it doesn't end. It actually keeps going. So all year long, we actually put women in the Ada Lovelace Day category on our site anyways. So check it out. It's on our website. And we did a special portrait, too.
Every year we do this, and the photo keeps getting bigger and more of an ordeal to take. This is all of the Adafruit women.
Yeah, we're missing like 5.
Yeah, all that we could get in one place at one time.
But what's cool is there's more women at Adafruit this year than we had people at Adafruit, I think, the previous year. Yeah. No, really. Like, that's great. So,
that's a little nuts.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's exactly where we want to be. And that's our new space next door that we're doing a build out for.
It's that way.
Yeah. So
for those of you keeping track at home.
Through the camera.
Through the camera.
Okay.
Okay, it's time to debut my Bandolier of Light. Last week we saw the laser dog goggles, and now the culmination is the rest of the Cyber Tank Girl costume. But you have a video, so you should probably watch it.
There you go.
My Halloween costume this year is a cyberpunk take on the comic icon Tank Girl. We've already modded up these goggles and the studded choker with Neopixels in previous tutorials. Today we're 3D printing a Bandolier of Light using Neopixel strip and white NinjaFlex filament. To build this project, we'll be using some 60 pixel per meter Neopixel strip, fabric, sewing supplies, Gemma or Trinket microcontroller, and a battery pack. Download and print the free file from our complete tutorial. The link is in the description. The piece is designed to tile into a long belt or bandolier. Use as many as you need to achieve your desired length. Sandwich the Neopixel strip between the NinjaFlex and fabric and sew them together. Use our sample code, then mod it up to display your own custom color patterns. You could even extend it to add a sensor to have your LEDs react to motion, sound, or temperature. You can put the battery pack in a pocket or attach it to your belt. Just make sure you provide adequate strain relief in case the wires get tugged. To wire up this circuit and learn more about the other elements of my costume, head over to the Adafruit Learning System, where you'll also find plenty of other examples of 3D printing and wearable electronics to inspire your own Halloween getup. What are you making for Halloween? Let us know in the comments and on our weekly Show and Tell hangout on Google+. Have a happy Halloween and subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
Okay. All right. I like this. This is like an album cover or something like that.
Well, I wanted to show you that it looks good when it's off. Also,
Yeah.
I think that it's that and the missiles on the dog backpack give it like a graphic pop that hopefully is a little bit sort of comic-esque because I left off all the like stickers and patches and stuff because I wanted the lights to kind of shine. And the black and white photo lets you know that it's still, even in the daylight, it still gives you that like nice comic book.
Yeah.
Look, I have it on the overhead if you want it.
Yeah, let's go to the overhead.
Maybe I can dim the light on the
So,
overhead.
this is a great time to go to the overhead.
So it's really flexible and soft. I put a line of black gaffer's tape along the whole thing, which you can remove it. I recommended sewing in this project mainly to make the Neopixel strip reusable. So it's only sewn in there. You can take it out and use it for something else. It is a whole meter of 60 Neopixel strip, which is kind of on the pricey side. So I thought we'd leave it reusable. But if you aren't keen at sewing or you want to make it permanent more, or like, you know, just if you don't like sewing basically, because sewing makes it nice and smooth and like it has a nice finished look to it without any like glue. I don't like messy if it doesn't have to be messy, but you can use glue if that's where your skills lie. Use the Permatex 66B adhesive that we recommend for the Neopixel strip, and you can glue these right on, and then you don't need the fabric backing necessarily. Just make sure that any strain is placed on the sheathing of the Neopixel strip, not the PCB itself. And like you can use any number of battery packs. I just used the big USB one in the video, and I'll take it outside with me for Halloween because it'll last all night, and it has an extra USB port for charging like backup batteries for the other parts of the costume. So like a backup battery for the goggles and a backup battery for the necklace. You can like have them charging with the like the little micro LiPo charger in the other USB port as you're running this one. So I don't know. This whole like Ninja Flex Stiff using Neopixels is not over with me yet. It's really not.
It's not gonna end.
Our love affair is strong.
Well, people can buy this. 10% off ALD14. Use it on checkout.
You can get 10% off the Ninja Flex, 10% off the Neopixel strip, 10% off the battery pack. I unfortunately don't sell any fabric or thread, but we do have needles if you need sewing needles.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun and easy project to build. And you can make it as long or as short as you want. You can make it a bracelet or a regular belt. And I think it would look really good on plenty of other costumes besides Cyber Tank Girl. Although, if you want to know how to get the rest of that costume look, like all the other elements that I used, I also made a separate guide on the learning system.
Yeah, I saw that.
For the Cyber Tank Girl costume.
This morning when I was looking, I'm like, wait, there's two.
There's two. There's two.
That's exactly what the thought sounded like.
One for this project and then one for the whole costume, just in case you guys are curious. Also for search engine optimization.
Yeah. A tutorial, so nice. She published it twice.
Yes, I did it. There's some overlapping GIFs, but the text is completely different.
Okay.
And it shows like how I did the other stuff.
Okay, component of the week.
Shoes. I linked to the freaking shoes, okay?
Heat charger. That's what they
the Pixel Chi. No, not Pixel Chi. Chi is I have a student named Chi.
So is it straight up Chi? It's
Chi.
For a fact. Okay.
QI is Chi.
Okay.
In Chinese.
Done.
According to my student whose name is Chi.
Yeah.
Also, the Pixel Chi display that we have is something else.
I know.
Anyway, this is the Chi wireless charging transmitter. So we have a couple of different receiver modules, like the USB one, the sticker one, the ones you can plug into your phone, and power your Arduino project with. Now we have the transmitter. So if you want your Arduino project to turn on when you put it on this base, you could use this. If you want to charge up a battery on your Arduino project or whatever, you can use this charging base. Or, I was just thinking I might just upgrade my phone. You can you can sandwich the receiver inside your phone case and then use this as the base and make your phone inductive charging.
But you viewers out there aren't going to pay full price. You're
going to use fool to pay full price.
You're going to use ALD14. All right. Tools we love. Okay, this is a different type of tool. This is a tool for your mind.
A book tool. No, this is a great resource. Tool is also a resource.
Okay.
Kate Hartman's book with Make has come out. Make Wearable Electronics. We have it in the store.
Yep.
It covers a bunch of Flora stuff. The Flora family and all of the sensors are in there, as well as a bunch of really useful resources for conductive materials, making your own sensors, like things to be aware of when you're making wearable electronics. Thank you, Kate, for writing this book. Someone has to, and I'm already working on one about Flora, so it's really helpful for everyone. It's very practical advice. That's why I think it's a tool that I love, because it's a resource with lots of really good like go-to information as well as like sample projects to get you started.
Yeah, I'll say this. This is the best time to start doing wearables. A few years ago, really hard, not a
Really
lot of
hard.
resources. A couple years ago, some stuff out there, but not a lot of resources. Now, all the stuff is out there
really easy.
and all the resources.
Yeah, it's
Right.
really, it's not like, it's really fun.
And here's the back of the book because we
I would
have two
say
photos.
it's more fun now. You get to spend more time having fun and less time digging around for stuff that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'll make an analogy. So robotics is still kind of hard because you spend a lot of time with power and getting stuff moving, and
Yeah.
now you can finally maybe put some intelligence on your bot. I think one day, like robotics will be easier just to get started fast. Wearables reminded me of that for a while because it's like, okay, so I need power and I need a microcontroller and it needs to be sewable. I need to
Yeah.
get all these materials and then it needs to, what if I want to wash it?
There's
How
like
many?
a lot of overhead,
Yeah.
like learning overhead, and
And
now
when you're
there's
done,
a lot
you're
of
just
things
like,
make it easier.
you know what? Like, I think I'm just gonna stick with a breadboard. But now you could totally do wearable electronics, and
This project, besides all the sewing, like the part where I actually made it blink and made
Yeah.
it like 10 minutes.
yeah. All right. Anyways,
Wearables, it's for people with ADD now, including me. I'm not being disparaging to a community I'm not part of. Are we already at Q&A?
Yeah.
Oh, we're already like so far into the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're there.
I spent a long time on my Motorola smartwatch.
Yeah,
So
this
the
is a
prize
live
is a
review.
Flora. The people whose questions are answered now will be eligible to win the giveaway, which I'll do in a second. If you have questions, you ask them now, and I'll answer them next week or the week after, and you will also be eligible for the giveaway.
okay.
That's how it works.
First question. Here we go. This is from Gray John. I'm just starting out with Arduino. I'm wondering if there's a wearable project that's best for a beginner DIYer.
Yes, I have 3 suggestions for you.
Number
if you
one.
want, this is a plush game controller. It's very easy first conductive thread sewing project because you don't actually need any of those threads to like carry a signal to a Neopixel. All it needs to do is touch this conductive fabric.
Number 2.
The sunscreen reminder hat, also a very good beginner conductive thread project because the sensor is very close to the Flora and you just have that one sensor audio output. Very simple, easy,
Okay.
and fun and fast. And then if you
Number
don't want to
3.
sew with
Those
conductive
are mine.
thread, you can
Didn't work out.
you just try to crank up the
I
third.
tried to.
You're supposed to do that.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give the audience the finger.
Family friendly.
Yeah.
This project I think is really fun because it's only 4 solder joints onto your Flora with the weather resistant silicone pixels. I'm not doing
no, I
anything.
thought there was 4. I'm like 4. There was 3.
No, 4 solder joints
yeah.
on this project.
Okay.
And then this is 3D printed with the Ninja Flex
Okay.
flexible spike. So
I didn't want to screw up these slides.
look, it's vibrating because apparently it has disconnected from my phone. Oh, it's because Yo crashed. So Yo has an Android Wear extension, but it's really buggy. So
All right.
it
This
just
one,
vibrated 5 times to tell me that Yo crashed.
this kind of sucks. It can't even say yo, I crashed. Like,
Yo.
come on, you have one job.
Yo.
Yeah, I crashed.
Yo never worked really that well for me. I've never received any Yos from my iOS friends. I could send Yos.
All right.
Anyway, those are your beginner projects I recommend. Wearables aren't the easiest for the absolute beginner
Yeah.
DIYer. They're not. If you said like,
Wearables is hard.
what are the beginner Arduino projects should I do? I should say, blink an LED, power a motor.
Okay. This is from the Fonz. Hi, Becky. I read it online that with a Gemma, I can connect between 60 to 100 Neopixels because of the amount of RAM available on the chip. Is this around the same for all RGB LED pixels, or some other RGB LED chips use a lot less RAM? Does the whole LED strip sequence have to be buffered in memory, or are the chips sent the data sequentially so the data from each pixel doesn't need to take up much RAM? The LPD 6803, the WS 2801, or the WS 2811, are there other chips that I've seen? Are the other chips I've seen online?
Yeah, the WS28 whatevers are all very similar, and then the LPD 6803s are the other kind that we have that have a 2-wire protocol timing in, or like a clock and a data pin instead of just one. You have the analogy in your head mixed up a little bit, the Fonz. The like pixels themselves are not occupying space in the RAM on the chip for Gemma. The program that controls the pixels is running on the Gemma. So depending on how you write the program, it will take up more or less space. If I go through and say pixel number 1 is red, pixel number 2 is blue, pixel number 3 is turquoise, all the way down to 60, like that takes up a different amount of space than saying make pixels 4 through 70 blue.
Yeah.
It's about the amount of space your program occupies. How to say that more clearly? No, there's not an alternative chip you can use that would make you be able to power more pixels with a Gemma. If you have more than 100 pixels you want to power, use a Flora. You can power up to 500 Neopixels with a Flora, maybe even more if you power them properly. So, and then if you need more than that, you can use an Arduino Mega. I saw David Cortelis on the Arduino team was showing me this awesome video from this project he worked on in Jakarta, Indonesia, where they like illuminated this walkway with these hanging lights that were all like WS28 11s or 12s, and he used 30 Arduino Megas to control like thousands of pixels.
Wow.
It's about how you write the program, like what the animation is doing. If you're saying like light up a random pixel between 1 and 100, that takes up even less space than turn pixels 4 through 70 blue. So if you look at some of Phil B's code, it's written really like small to try to maximize the space, but it also then gets a little bit harder to understand.
Check out the Uber NeoPixel guide. Kind of
Yes.
tells you a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but it's not about the chips. It's about the program on the Gemma that's controlling the chips.
Okay, next up. Here we go. I'm attempting to make a flame effect in an open hand for my daughter's costume. We have a Flora Neopixels. Would you be able to recommend a small fan to fit in the hand below the strips of fabric? Oh, yeah.
So we don't carry any computer fans in the Adafruit store, but I did a quick, let me Google that for you, for 5-volt fans, because most computer fans are 12-volt. They're meant to hook up to your computer power supply. But I looked, there are 5-volt fans. Look at, I took a screenshot of them.
Google for
Or 3-volt fans.
PC fan vest. Mikey Sklar did one of
He
the
had
coolest.
12-volt batteries.
Yeah, I know, but it was one of the cool. It's just a cool wearables.
It is a really cool
Yeah.
wearable. Anyway,
All
there
right.
are 5-volt fans, so get a little one like the one that goes on your MakerBot extruder, but they're typically 12 volts, so look for a 5-volt one on eBay or All Electronics or DigiKey or Mouser or
Okay.
Element 14.
Next up, I have a Flora and GPS sensor and some Neopixels. I'm interested in building a pair of vests for 2 people to play hide and seek, being outside in a large area. My concept is to have them send and receive signals so that an array of Neopixels will light to point the way towards the other person and indicate the distance between them. Do you think this is possible? And is there any Adafruit learning guide modules that might be helpful?
I do not think this is plausible. Is it possible? Yes. Do you want to spend the next year and a half developing a hide and seek app on your phone that pairs with our GPS module? Maybe not.
Should be like a new wearable segment. Possible or plausible?
Is it plausible or impossible?
Implausible.
We do have the guides I'd recommend you check out are the dog GPS harness and the GPS jacket. Neither of them do real-time communication with any other garment. The harness is plugged into the computer to suck off the log, and then this the GPS jacket just lights up when you get to a certain location. So it's communicating directly with the satellite. There are a couple issues with your idea. One, if you're hiding, you might be hiding under or behind something that's blocking your GPS signal, like a rock. If you're underneath a rock or underneath a house, you're not going to be able to get line of sight GPS signal. The second thing is, although the precision is very good, if you're updating it even live to your phone, getting that live information to someone else's phone, then to their Arduino, then to their Neopixel matrix, there's going to be some kind of time delay. So I don't think it's going to behave the way you want it to. Those are my problems with your idea. It's way over-engineered because what you're talking about is an app. Like you could write an app for your phone that does what you're talking about, and you don't need to wear a Flora GPS.
Yeah, it's tough because there's a lot of different technologies. So there's chat systems that phones are starting to use now. That it's just local area.
Yeah.
Gotenna is like a hardware product.
Right.
But combining all these things, you need so much oomph.
So much
You know,
programming.
yeah,
so
you need-
much programming.
So I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a tough one because if you did Wi-Fi in a large open area, you could do communication, but you wouldn't really get signal strength, and then you're handing off all this data. Like it actually that's a really tough one.
Yeah, your precise location is easy for the GPS to track if you're in like an open field. But if you start hiding under or behind things and your signal is lost for a second, then your live updating wouldn't work. I don't think it's a good, like I would never take on this project. It doesn't sound fun to me.
Okay.
Do a different one.
I think they should take it on. And let us know how it works out. Let us know what you come up with.
Me asking me
No,
a bunch
but-
of questions about it then.
Well, no,
After I told them not to do it.
No, I'm telling you.
Ugh, that's the worst when I get it. Like,
Phil said to do it. Okay.
Phil said I should do it.
What
but
is the
Becky doesn't
amperage?
want you to do it.
What is the amperage limit that could be sourced from the V-out pin on the Gemma and Flora? If your needs exceed this limit, what's the best way to power Neopixels and unit itself? Do they require a common
Excellent
ground?
question, David. The answer is 2 amps, and this is on the product page for the Flora and the Gemma. There's a 2 amp fuse on the V-out pin on both the Flora and the Gemma. That means you can draw up to 2 amps through the V-out pin. If you need more amps, like say you have a really long Neopixel strip, you can put another power supply at the other end or in the middle. You can splice it in wherever on the power and yes, the common ground line. So that you can, so say you have like an AC adapter powering your Flora or a big battery pack powering your Flora and one end of the Neopixel strip, you can put another battery or a matching AC adapter on the other end. And then the amperage, as long as the voltage matches, the amperage, it'll pull evenly from both.
Okay. Well, we're going to do the code now before we give stuff away.
We're running a little over, sorry.
Yeah.
You guys get bonus wearable electronics.
Yeah, so don't forget the code.
If you liked my answers, you can buy some things.
Yeah, and if you like my encouragement to do things that might not work out,
You know,
buy some things too.
I'm just watching out for you guys, all right? I want you to have a good time.
I'm not.
And if you ask me a question and your project sounds like it's not going to be a good time, I'm going to tell you to try something else.
You'll only learn if you're disappointed.
Trust me, the things that are a good time will still disappoint you a little bit. Okay, one of you will win this Flora.
Fail faster to succeed
Having
sooner.
an existential crisis happening between us over here about what projects you guys shouldn't try. Exactly, Allison, with her GPS idea.
It was meant to be.
You have won a single Flora. If you use this Flora for this project, I won't be happy.
I'll be ecstatic.
Who do you want to please, me or Phil? I believe this is Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Yeah, no, at 4 p.m. today, the Great Letdown Show with Phil.
Projects you should try right now.
Where we get emails from people who say, yeah, I tried to build that thing, it just didn't work out.
Okay, Allison, we're not making fun of you. We're making fun of each other. And you have won this Flora, so you can email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize, or I will send you a message on what looks to be Google Plus.
Yeah.
So that you can have your Flora.
The thing is, in my head, I was trying to figure out a way to do it. I'm like, well, there's like RF and XB and all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god,
it's just not going to work out for you.
But it's a fun. This is a problem. It's a fun thing to think about. Then I get obsessed about it.
It is a fun problem to think about, but you know what is even just as fun is the laser tag question we get a lot.
Yeah, if everybody wants to make a laser tag.
And that's more doable than this GPS tag.
Yeah.
Anyway, you've won. Congratulations, Allison.
It was meant to be. Okay.
It was meant to be that you do something with Flora.
That's right.
If you have a project to share, you can show up tonight at 7:30 for our show and tell.
All these people are always happy because they're showing a successful
Their
project.
projects all worked out.
Yeah. Although sometimes people are like, oh, like I went down this path and I decided to do something different. Here's and they share it with people, which I think is very helpful.
Sharing your mistakes is really useful. That's tonight at 7:30. You can go to the Google Plus page and write a comment to say, add me to the circle, and then you'll be invited every week, and you can show off a project anytime, 7:30 on Wednesdays. And then after that is Ask an Engineer with Mr. and Mrs. Lady Ada at 8 o'clock. Catch all the new products and everything that's going on. And then if you haven't had enough 3D printing, which I'm sure you haven't, you can catch the 3D Thursday Hangout with Matt, Noe, and Pedro tomorrow at 3 p.m.
That's right.
On this, I say it's because this happens right here at the live broadcast
It's
station.
the #1 live 3D printing show on the internet.
#1 and longest running.
That's right.
It's also fabulous. You can learn. They break down like CAD designs. Maybe tomorrow, Noe. I don't know what they have planned tomorrow, but they could show you how they designed the 3D piece that we call.
Yeah.
We've been affectionately calling it a McRib.
It is like the McRib.
Since it's just one piece like this and it tiles, and it looks like a McRib.
Okay.
So
that's
thanks for watching.
That's the show.
We'll be back next week with another fun wildcard guest wearables project.
What?
What?
Okay.
What? Do I have time to show this?
No. We'll see it tomorrow.
Okay.
So let's next.
You'll see it
next time.
tomorrow. You'll see it next time.
Next one.
Okay.
I know what it is.
I know. See you guys.
Okay. Bye bye.
Happy wearabling.